whatever it is, if you've worked hard enough and you've suffered enough and you've sacrificed enough and you've game planned enough, there's a moment in that process in which you realize you can live with the outcome. So there's 6 ways to win every fight: skill, will, talent, tactics, conditioning, and strategy. So let's talk about skill. What is skill? Things, right? These are the things that you can develop. These are developable attributes to your fight that you can practice and hone and build upon. So everybody has a certain level that they can improve on their skill. Everybody. Right? Skill development. You have a certain level of skill. If you fight somebody who has more skill than you, you better have another attribute that offsets that or you're going to be in trouble. Right? But skill is something you can develop. What is will? There's 2 things that are totally under your control, and will is one of them. Right? Do you have the willingness to persevere, to struggle through the difficult times in a fight, to come forward when you maybe shouldn't come forward? Right? This also occurs before the fight. Do you have the will to do the preparation, the will to do the diet properly, the will to do the conditioning properly, all those kind of things. But you are 100% in control of your will, your ability, your will to be able to endure what's required. So there's skill, there's will, talent, right? What is talent? Talent are your God gifts. You're each born with a certain portion of talent in different things. You have God gifts, okay? You can develop certain attributes, but you have a portion of talent. You can get a slow guy and make him faster, right? But you can't take a guy who's super slow and make him into the fastest guy in the world. The guy who's the fastest guy in the world had a certain talent quotient that was given him that he developed to become the fastest, right? You can develop within a range, but you have certain talents. Each one of you guys has certain talents that you have to find out what those talents are, then develop them and exploit them. Okay, but they are God-given. Tactics are the things we use to execute our strategy, right? Strategy, which is a global map which we are going to use to win the fight. I'm going to take him into the last half of the fight. I'm going to drown him in the pool, right? I'm going to take him into the deep water and drown him. The tactics is I'm going to put soft pressure on him the entire fight to get him to the back half of the fight so I've drained his energy, right? The strategy is I'm going to drown him in the back half of the fight. The tactic is I'm going to use steady pressure, even pressure, light pressure to draw the energy out of him, to take him deep. I don't get any exchanges. Take him deep into the fight when I've drained his energy, right? So tactics are the things that we use to execute on our global strategy. And conditioning is the 6th one, right? Or one of the 6. Conditioning is just what it sounds exactly what it is. Do you prepare properly mentally and physically? It's not just physical preparation, it's mental preparation. Did you do the things that were required mentally of you? Are you mentally prepared to fight? Did you get it involves everything from getting the proper sleep, to getting the proper nutrition, to your road work, your sprint work, your conditioning work, or your performance coach. It also means, did you do all the things that are necessary to have the internal confidence you need at the moment of the crucible, right? That you don't cave under the moment of pressure. So there's 6 ways: skill, will, talent, tactics, conditioning, and strategy. And then there's 3 other things that determine the outcome of every fight. What are they? Creativity, execution, and preparation. So let's talk about those. Preparation, right? You may have prepared yourself physically and mentally, right? But now did you prepare yourself for this specific fight? Did you understand your opponent? Do you understand your opponent's motives? Do you understand what the opponent's fighting for? Do you understand yourself? Have you taken all the time and energy that's required to fully know your opponent? Did you prepare properly in every aspect of the game? Your physical preparation, your mental preparation, and your game planning. What is creativity or imagination? It's the ability to create opportunities where none currently exist, to expand on or create new opportunities in the midst of fighting. Right? Some guys are just really creative. They can take a situation and they can expand on it and create opportunities that aren't apparent to other people. Right? They're creative. They can think outside the box. They can use their skills and apply them in ways that normal people can't. Floyd Mayweather's this kind of guy. He gets into situations and he's able to create opportunities for himself that other people can't and don't. He's creative in the fight. He has the ability to expand on and create opportunities where none currently exist. It's an incredible skill. It's an incredible ability that he has. And it's incredible to overcome. It's difficult because you can do everything you want. Some guys can just out-create you. And that's tough. And what's the last one? Execution. It's execution. And when we say execution, what do I mean? The ability to perform on demand. You can come in here and train your ass off. You can get yourself in the best condition. You can have the best strategy. You can have the heart of a lion. You can apply the best tactics, right? You can have an incredible imagination, unbelievable imagination. You've done all the work. But I'll tell you something, when the lights go on, people change. You know what the number one fear is? They do all these polls. You know what the number one fear is? Public speaking, right? We're all afraid to be found out, right? Now imagine you're fighting and you're fighting in front of everybody you know. That moment right there, when you go out and those lights come on, that changes people. You either rise to that occasion or you don't. Whenever there's a big fight and there's a guy that hasn't been under the lights, you bet against the guy that hasn't been under the lights. You bet against him because the lights change people. You put a microphone in front of people and they freeze up. They can't speak, they can't think. You put a million eyes on you, and at the end of that, you're afraid that you're going to be exposed for everything, how you identify yourself. Nobody wants to be beaten. Nobody wants to be beaten in front of everybody they know. It makes it very hard to execute in that environment. And then there's some guys that are just ballers, right? Some guys can't wait to get in there. That's their moment. They've been waiting their whole lives for that. Give me the ball, coach. Put me in. Put me in under the lights. There's some guys that are like that. You got to be that guy. You got to be that when the lights come on, your energy goes up, your imagination grows, your confidence is sky high, right? But you guys, if you've been fighting before, you know the walk from the locker room to the ring is a scary walk. Lots of fights are lost in that 60, 70 yards. Trust me when I tell you, okay? Being able to execute, that's one thing that shadow boxing helps you with, okay? But the really thing that really helps you with that is doing all the work, all the preparation, all the, developing a good tactic, the more confidence you can build in yourself. But the most important thing ultimately is how do you feel about yourself in your heart? That's it, right? A coach can't do it for you. He can cheer you on and inspire you, right? But you got to do it for yourself, right? And the last thing is about that is I want you to take this philosophy into the ring with you, and it'll save you the anxiety, whatever it is. If you've worked hard enough, and you've suffered enough, and you've sacrificed enough, and you've game planned enough, there's a moment in that process in which you realize you can live with the outcome. Whatever it is, right? Most people are afraid to find out that their best isn't good enough. And that is what keeps them from becoming their best, right? You guys want to find a way, say, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to put my best out there, and I'm going to live with the result. Whatever it is, and trust me, that changes lives.